and figured I would start doing a community show and share some advice with you guys and like my journey so far as a whatnot seller. I thought that it could be helpful for other people kind of in the same position as me, and also just a chance to engage with the community because I've been joining other people's community chats and have found them super helpful. So I figured why not share a little bit just from my perspective as a new seller. Hey, Discount City, how are you? So yeah, that's basically the goal of this show is just to kind of share my perspective so far as a new seller, and then also just have other people that are joining in share their upcoming shows, share their perspective, any advice that they can give as well. Greatly appreciated. I'm sure other people that may join in will find this helpful too. So that was kind of the goal with this. Turn that off because it's loud. But yeah, figured I'd do it while I do my morning matcha, and just chat with you guys. So far I've had one show. I've participated in one raid, um, and had like 3 or 4 sales. So that was pretty good just for like a show kind of barely planned and off the, cuff kind of deal there. I just dropped my matcha cube. Hold on a second. So don't worry, I'll sit still in a second. But yeah, I wanted to kind of just share some tips and advice. So far, what I've come to find to be pretty true is always have a show listed in your profile for people to be able to bookmark so that they're able to attend um, your shows and like know that they're coming up, get a notification that the show is live. Also, I found that promoting on social media is also really big as well. I've been watching a lot of different YouTube videos and TikToks and Instagram posts, and then been in a lot of community chats like this where people are saying like promoting on other social media platforms is really, really good to get people into your shows and also just more buyers onto the platform. We do have our referral code that you can use. I'm sure you've heard of that. Hold on, I'm just trying to pin this product. Hey, thanks for joining. So that's really good too. To do is make sure that you're promoting your shows on other platforms. Don't think that you're just going to get the traffic just from Whatnot. I think the only way to really get the traffic just from Whatnot is like if you were going into a bunch of other people's shows, and then the ones that happen to say that it's okay to promote your show, you promote in those shows and then get bookmarked that way. You may be able to get away with it. I don't think that that's really sustainable because there are some people that don't want you to promote your show in their show, which for good reason, I understand. But I've seen that that's a thing too, is that some people don't want you to promote your own show while they're doing a show. But there is a large number of people that are open to you promoting your show in their show. So look out for those. Look out for the um, community lives as well, like this one, where you're able to promote your show so that people will bookmark it. So I'm going to say it again. If you would like to promote your show in this show, go ahead, let me know when your next shows are. I'll go over and bookmark them. I'll watch the replay and bookmark. But yeah, definitely do that. I'm planning to do a show hopefully either, if not today, then I might do it tomorrow night, but it'll definitely be a nighttime show, I think, because I don't have as much time in the morning to be able to do a whole show. So yeah, definitely do that. Promote your show. Hit the little item right here. That's just meant to bookmark so that you get a reminder whenever I'm live next. And I'm going to plan to try and do this chat at least once a week and just engage with you guys. Hey, thanks for joining. So yeah, some other tips that I have is definitely make sure that you have all of your shipping supplies ahead of time ready to go. You may not think that You need to have it ahead of time, that you could just get it. Good morning, that you could just get it after you've had your show. Yes, you can do that, but I found it really stressful. Like, I did my first show like off the cuff, very unorganized, not planned ahead, and I was like, oh, like I could just ship in a priority box and just get it at the post office. Yeah, you could do that if you set your show up to be only priority boxes, which I did not. I did not do research before my first show and didn't know that you needed to like set up the shipping stuff ahead of time appropriately so that you could ship in a certain type of box. Um, so my first show had the shipping set up where it was going to do the ground shipping, which is fine if you have the boxes and things to be able to do ground shipping, which I had no shipping supplies at all. I ended up having to run to the dollar store and get a box, and then had to pack it up that way because I did not have any shipping supplies. Since then, I found out, one, you can set up your shows so that it's only going to ship with the priority boxes, which is great. Um, yes, so that's the other thing I was going to say. If it is under that weight limit, then it will do the ground. So priority boxes, set it up so that it prioritizes using priority boxes. But then also, if you do have later items and you are going to be stuck with the ground shipping, you can get ground boxes for free, and you can use the it's UPS website, and they have shipping supplies. As a business, you can get access to the shipping supplies for free. You don't pay for that shipping supplies. They have labels, they have boxes, they have other things, items too that you may need. But you can get access that way. So you don't have to pay for the boxes. Same thing with the priority boxes. Priority boxes, you can go directly to the USPS website and get access to the shipping supplies that way too. It's free, and you can have it sent to your door so you're not struggling to find the specific size of box that you need at your local post office. So plan ahead, get your shipping supplies. Same thing with like labels and things like that. You don't want to have to, if you are using a label maker or label printer, then you don't want to have to struggle to get access to that supplies that you're going to need for the labels on your boxes. You also are supposed to put the what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like a sales receipt slip that you're supposed to put inside of the box or the bag that you're shipping in. At least that's my understanding, is it's supposed to be in there. So make sure you're doing that as well. But yeah, that's my like main thing, is make sure you have what you need in order to ship those items out. Should you make sales? Good morning. Bidding Bees Shop. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Again, if you have any upcoming shows, feel free to share them in the chat. I'm sure everybody will go through and bookmark them, but I'll go through and make sure that I go check out everybody's page and bookmark any shows as well if you mention them. So we're just kind of sharing any tips or advice that we have as new sellers. If you are a new seller or even an advanced seller, um, share your tips and advice for other new sellers and just other sellers on the platform as well. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing, share your experience. I'd love to hear. Especially if you've been on here longer than I have and you've had a good experience with selling your items, definitely share that too. I'm Angelica. I am Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Ooh, that sounds fun. So I am been on here, what, like maybe 2 months or so. I did a really quick show to sell some items just before I left for a trip, which was not the greatest planning on my end. But I did have like 3 or 4 sales and was able to go through that shipping process and like learn the steps to that. And that's where I definitely say that, like, yes, have your shipping supplies ahead of time, because you will need it. And if you don't have it on hand, then it becomes like a scavenger hunt to find what you need. Um, so yeah, definitely pre-plan as much as you can. Make sure that you are promoting on social media or promoting however you would like to in order to get people into your show. Yes, Whatnot has a promote feature. I tried it out. I didn't find it to be that beneficial with that first show, but I may try it out later on. and see how that goes if it's a longer show. And then also if I am promoting on social media, how that helps as well to get more people into the show, bookmarked, all that kind of stuff. We do have a referral link, which gives the buyers a $15 credit that they could use in your show or any other show, which is a great way to kind of drive traffic to your show. I believe it automatically bookmarks your shows when you share your referral link and somebody uses it. So I think that's really cool too. But I think promoting on other social media platforms is a really great way to drive the traffic to your Whatnot shows, to get bookmarked and people into your shows to actually end up buying products if you're sharing it in the right places. I've seen lots of people talk about TikTok, YouTube, just basically all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. See if you can find there are Whatnot Facebook groups you can join. There are, like, depending on the type of product that you're selling, I'm sure there's different groups you could join, and like share your shows upcoming in there if they allow that. Some groups are a little strict about promotion, so make sure you're reading the rules in regards to each group because each group is going to be different. So far I'm trying to interact in as many shows as possible on Whatnot that are just like community shows where sellers can share their experience and share their shows upcoming, so that I can promote my show in them. Okay, Gala the Gala is amazing to help new sellers. Okay, cool. Definitely check that out, everyone. I'll go make sure that I follow him to check that out. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, definitely want to make sure that you're promoting as much as you can in whatever way you can, whether it's on other social media. If you want to try the promote option just within the platform, definitely recommend that. Also within the platform, there are the other community chats like this one where you can just jump in and see whatever their show notes say as far as what their rules are. If you're able to share your shows there, definitely recommend doing that. I've been doing that within the last few weeks. I'm probably going to sneeze, so I apologize. I can feel it. But going ahead and checking what their rules are if you're able to share your shows in there. I found a handful or so that are allowing you to share your shows upcoming so that people will bookmark, which is cool because if there's like 50 plus people in that room, then maybe half of them will go check out your show and bookmark it, and then you've got more eyes on your show. And I do believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone can, the more bookmarks you have, the more it kind of like goes up in like the algorithm, is my understanding. So definitely worth trying to get people to bookmark your shows. And then also just those people are going to get a notification that, yeah, sponsor in other shows. That's a great point. Some other shows have the option to like make a purchase and then of a sponsorship spot, and then they'll promote your show in their show. So that's cool too. So with yeah, definitely communicate in the chat. So what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I need the matcha. I need to make the matcha. So yeah, it's definitely important. No, you're good. It's definitely important to make sure that you are like engaging with the community, because that was kind of like what my point was, is just make sure you're engaging with the community, because you're gonna have the more that you're chatting in the chats of other people's shows, even if you're not talking about your show, the more people are going to see your name. They're going to start recognizing it. They may click on your username and go check out your profile and see that you've got shows. 500 sales. Wow. What do you sell? So yeah, they may check out your show too. If you're chatting in other people's shows, then those other buyers may go over to your profile, follow you, bookmark if they like what they see, and make sure that you've got your shows like preloaded, even if you need to edit that date and time to a different day, like at the end of each day, like move it to the next day, until you're ready to go live, so that they can bookmark that for a reminder. Okay, you started out with clothes and then now you're doing home decor, Halloween or Christmas items, and Thanksgiving too. That's really cool. I'll definitely have to go check out your page, and bookmark some shows after this one. I Let me move that over. I am starting with some women's items, and then primarily it's 18 month to 5T toddler items. So clothing, that's what I'm primarily starting with. All of them are um, like really great pre-loved condition. Like there's no stains, no wear and tear signs, anything like that. Like it's really great condition. Most of the items probably are only worn once, if that. So that's what I'll be starting with. And then as far as like the women's items, some of them are just again like great pre-loved condition, but then some also have like new tags and things like that. So I'm gonna do like separate shows for the two different categories. I found that that's helpful too, is like if you people have been saying that if you separate the styles, then like you're going to like attract the buyers that want those styles. So like the women's clothing, do a women's show versus doing like women's and toddlers together. So I'm going to try it that way, see how that goes. I want to put together like at least a minimum of like 30 to 50 items for my next sale before I actually go live with it. Because then I feel like that's more opportunity to be able to get those sales versus if I only have like 20 items or something, then it's like, well, that's not very many items for people to be interested in and then potentially purchase. So that's what I'm going to do for my upcoming show, is make sure that I have more items to be able to show. Also, don't start your items at $1 if you're not comfortable for the item starting at $1. I think as a new seller, when I first joined the platform, I saw people doing the $1 starts and kind of thought like that was the only way to be able to sell the items, is if you started with a $1 start. But if you're not comfortable with it selling for $1, then don't list it for $1, because it could sell for $1. So yeah, I've seen a couple of sellers talk about like $3, $5, and $9 starts. That's kind of like where they start their items versus the dollar starts, and those seem to do fine. Of course, you could do higher than that, but I think the 3, 5, and 9 is like a good starting point, at least for the items that I'm going to be selling. That I'm like not worried about it. If it did happen to sell for $3, then those items that I'm listing for the $3 start isn't gonna bother me. And just kind of being selective in how I'm listing them, I think is a good starting point for the items that I'm selling, because I do know that they're really good quality. They like aren't like super high end brands or anything, so it's not like, oh, like that item should have sold for like $30 or something. Like it's not like those kind of items, so I'm not worried about starting it at that lower end of things. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. And then also make sure that you're like creating your graphics for your shows so that they're eye-catching. You can do video. There's video option on that as well for your show listing. So I think that's really cool too. Using like ChatGPT or Canva to create your images is really helpful. I like Canva more, and I've been using Canva more now for creating my show graphic, because it can create like 5 or 6 different variations of whatever you type in, and then you can kind of pick which one you like, versus with, I almost dropped that, versus with me talking with my hands. With ChatGPT, it basically will create maybe 1 or 2 images, and like you might not like them, and then you've got to wait for it to load, and it takes a long time if you don't have Pro. I'm not paying for ChatGPT, so or Canva, so like it takes a long time for those graphics to create. And if you're trying to make listings for like 5 or 6 shows, then that can take a really long time to do. So Canva is a lot faster. Definitely recommend using Canva for your graphics. So yeah. that was a tip that I got. I don't know who said it, but somebody said it, and they were talking about how you can make your graphics with Canva and then it's really fast. So I like that a lot. I'm just getting my little mixer thing. Hold on, it's stuck. All right, let's do it this way then. There's a lot of stuff in this corner. All right, so what else? What other tips have I heard? Or if you've got any other tips, feel free to share. Again, as people are popping in, feel free to share any advice or tips that you may have as a seasoned seller or as a new seller that you found helpful. I'm trying to think. I should have made like a notepad before I like actually did this live, but we're just gonna spitball what I can think of. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Trying to think. Oh, here's one. Make sure you are sourcing your items at the lowest price possible that you can, so that you're able to sell them for a higher make more profit off of it. So like the lower you start, the higher the profit's going to be. So like if you're able to source your items for $1 and you sell the item for $10, that's a $9 profit, etc. So forth. I didn't really think about that when I first started because I knew that I already had these items, and they're kind of just waiting for a home, versus like I haven't gone out and like sourced items yet. But hopefully in the future, as long as this goes well, I'll be able to branch more into the women's clothing section, which is what I would love to do, is just be selling really nice women's clothing. I'm thinking like I want to do like vintage first and then go into like boutique style. I think would be really fun. So yeah, so right now I haven't gotten into the whole sourcing process because I'm just going with what we already have that just needs a home. But after we go through that, that's definitely what the goal is going to be. And I do want to make sure to remember that like the lower you source for, the more profit you can get off of the item. So that's definitely important. I think the username of the girl I've been watching on YouTube that's on Whatnot is Mellow Estate or Mellow State. She has a bunch of different tips and like does packing videos and really good content over on YouTube, so definitely check her out. She's been selling on Whatnot for a while, and she does does like tips and advice and things too. So definitely recommend her. Let me see if I can pull the username. Let's see. Yeah, Mellow State. That's the username. I found it. So definitely recommend her. She does really great YouTube videos and like advice and tips and packing videos, and she sells on multiple platforms, which definitely is a goal down the line, is to do cross listing on other platforms. So like I want to build up like a bin section on here and all of that, but like one thing at a time, right? Like we can't do everything at once. So definitely recommend just kind of tackling one thing at a time as much as you can. I don't think this is going to turn into frost or cold foam. Hey, I was just talking about you, just saying how much I really appreciate your YouTube content. And definitely recommend checking it out for yourself. If you are looking for advice and tips as a new seller, love her YouTube. So that's, yeah, of course. So I'm a new seller. I've only been on here for maybe 2 months and have found your content super helpful. So definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, that was why I tagged you. What else? I'm trying to think of other things that I've heard. Some people even like reuse their boxes and things from other things. So like Amazon boxes and like other online purchases and things. And I don't think that I would do that, but it's definitely an option if you need a box for ground shipping. That's definitely an option. I maybe would turn the box inside out so it's not like showing the logo of like other places and stuff. I think marketing is important with like how you're presenting your items when you're shipping them. So that's why I would just go with like unmarked boxes instead, or just like the priority boxes. The priority shipping I think is like the best option, especially if you're doing like clothing and things. Um, is what it seems like. What else? I'm trying to think. Other things. Yeah. Let me think. Think. I definitely recommend doing the like pre-listing of your shows, sharing them. I had heard one person say that basically they preload their shows and have like a show where it's like repeat weekly. So then you don't have to go in and like load shows every single day. You can just put them in there and then hit the repeat button so that it automatically relists your show for you, which I think is really cool too. Great idea. So that it's there for you for people to be able to bookmark. So like if you forget and don't put in a show so that people can bookmark, then you can go ahead and um, just have that one show that's like on repeat all the time so that it's there for people to be able to see and bookmark and get the reminder when you're actually live, which is a great idea. This little thing down here, the item that's listed for $100,000, serves as just a bookmark for future shows so people can see that item, be able to hit that and bookmark that item. So every time you load that into another show, it'll send them a notification when that show is live. So if they don't go in and bookmark your future shows, they've got that bookmarked instead, and they'll get that notification as well, which I think is a great little hack. Definitely recommend doing that. So yeah, I think that's kind of almost all of the little advice and tips and things that I wanted to share. Um, this wasn't going to be a super long show. I just wanted to give an opportunity for people to share any advice or tips. Next show, I will have some advice and tips and things pre-noted so that I can share them with you for the next one. We may do one, today's Thursday, so maybe we'll do one Friday, or even on Sunday. Let's aim for Sunday. I think that'll be when the next one is, when we do another chat where we just kind of share our tips and advice and things. Hey, Jenny Lou Who. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. Thanks for joining. I'm Angelica. I'm a new seller on the platform. I've had one show, and I just wanted to share my experience so far and any tips or advice that I could pass along, and then also open the floor for anybody to share their upcoming shows. If you have an upcoming show and are a seller, definitely share them here. I'll go ahead and check out your pages. Everybody that joined today, I'll be checking out your page after the show ends. And bookmark, but definitely share in the chat if you've got anything upcoming that you want to promote. Any tips, advice, or experience that you'd like to share as well, definitely do. Next show where we're gonna do another chat like this is probably gonna be Sunday morning. And be sure to hit this item here and bookmark it so you get notified of the next time that I'm live. That's definitely one of the tips that I have if you don't already have an item in your shop that you add to every show like this, where it's just serving the purpose of a bookmark so that they get notified of your show when you go live. Definitely do that, because sometimes people aren't going to take the time to go through and bookmark a bunch of your shows when they click on your profile. I found that really difficult to do when I am in other people's shows and want to be notified of their future shows. I may bookmark 2 or 3 of them, and then like they may have like 10 or 20 more to go, and I'm just like, that's just way too many for me. So I might bookmark like 2 or 3 at the top of it and then scroll down and bookmark 2 or 3 at the bottom. But yeah, so I think doing this instead, where you just bookmark the one item and you add that item into every show that you do, is a better option, because then they still get that notification of you being live. So definitely recommend doing that. We talked a little bit about shipping supplies earlier, that like for the ground items, you can use boxes from like just reusing boxes. I've heard people say that they do, like Amazon boxes and things like that. They also were saying about using the priority boxes, but then for ground shipping, using the boxes from UPS.com. They have other shipping supplies there too. They've got labels and all that good stuff. Um, and those are available for free as well. So if you just need a plain brown box, you can get them from there. Um, I've heard people talking about just posting on like Facebook and asking friends and things for boxes that they could reuse, so that you're like reusing and like recycling your packaging and stuff like that. So that's a cool option as well if you want to do that. I personally think if you're going to reuse a box, to turn it inside out or just take off any labeling that you can that is like, hey, Carolyn, thanks for joining. Um, so I think that it's important to keep, if you're going to run this like a business, to definitely think about marketing and go with as many. You can get them at it's ups.com. So you would, if you create a business account, there's a shipping section or shipping supply section, and you can order your supplies there. Um, It's free. There's boxes. There's also labels that you can get, like for your thermal label printer, for the labels that go on your box. Um, so if you, yes, bookmarks. So the bookmarks on your actual shows help as well. Yes, you're right. Um, so definitely make sure you're trying to get those also. Um, But I think the item option is a cool option, so that the person doesn't have to go through and like bookmark 100 shows or like 10 shows or something. This will get them a notification every time too. So yeah, that helps in the algorithm. You're right, bookmarking the actual shows. Um, so if you're not certain which, the more bookmarks, the higher your shows. Yes. So the boxes, if you're not sure which sizes to get and things like that, if you go on TikTok, and I think there's also some videos on YouTube, if you search free boxes, UPS, there's a bunch of different videos that tell you like which ones to get for your sizes and things like that. So definitely check that out, because I wasn't certain like which sizes to grab, and one of the boxes I got was like way too small. So definitely double check on like sizing and things like that before you actually order them. I'm trying to think what other tips I can share super quick. Going into other community live shows like this, where they allow you to share your upcoming shows, definitely do that. I highly recommend that because you can get those bookmarks, like the sassy vintage chic was saying. um and make sure that you're promoting yourself in those shows that allow you to promote yourself and your shows, using social media to promote your shows upcoming. We do have those referral links that allow us to share a $15 credit to any new people on the platform. They will be able to bookmark your shows and then get that credit that they could even spend in your show if they wanted to, but they also have the option to shop other people's shows and use their credit there. I think that's a really great tool that Whatnot provides us to be able to get buyers from other platforms onto the platform really well. Um, yeah, definitely recommend that stuff. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe try and pick, I've heard people say like the more regular you are with your shows, the more people are going to recognize your username and recognize that you're going live regularly and will pop into your show. So if you're like doing every Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'm going to have my show and like do that show every single week or as consistently as you can, so that people are joining your show. Definitely do that if you're able to do so. Um, there's also like Facebook groups that you can join that are for Whatnot sellers, or you could also look at joining other groups that are for just your category of items. So like if your buyer is would be like just a woman, then maybe look for women related Facebook groups that allow you to promote your business your business as well, or maybe look for like vintage groups or things like that, depending on like what your items are that you're trying to sell, so that you can get your buyer's eyes on your show. There's also the promote feature on Whatnot that you can promote your show. I tried that once. I personally did not see that it was like a huge return on what I was actually spending. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. But it's definitely an option as well for you. You can set how much you want to spend and do that. I'm trying to think. Just in like engage with like the community. So like join other shows of people selling items, and the more people are seeing your username, the more that you're interacting with each other. People will click on your username and go over to your profile, maybe follow you, maybe bookmark some items or your shows. So definitely recommend engaging as much as you can on the app. I've been trying to do that at least once a day, just joining different shows so that I can engage. Um, People in the chat are generally pretty friendly and supportive, and they'll go over and check out your show. If you don't see like in the show notes that the seller has that they say that you can promote your items, you can certainly ask in the chat, hey, do you mind me sharing my upcoming show? Um, Even that technically is kind of like sharing your upcoming show, because people are going to see you asking that question, and they may check out your profile anyway and go bookmark a few. So that's an option as well. Of course, don't just like go in there and like comment 100 times like I've got an upcoming show, go bookmark it, or anything like that. Like don't be rude. But definitely you can ask and see if they're allowing that, because there are rooms of like 50 plus people that are buyers that are watching these shows. So you certainly can ask or check their show notes and see if they allow that. There's also some sellers that have like sponsorship opportunities where you could purchase a specific item and then they'll allow you to promote your show, or they'll promote it for you upcoming. There's different things like that on the platform. You can definitely check that out too, depending on if like you want to spend the money to be able to be promoted. But also keep in mind like it's a business investment, in the same coin or thought of things, um, because there are some shows that have like 100, 200, 300 people in there, and if you're spending like $20, then like you may get like 100 more people that are following you or bookmarking your shows because you promoted in another show. So definitely do that, and if you can, and check out the opportunities that the other shows have available to you. So yeah, I'm going to jump off now. Be sure to hit the follow button if you haven't already, or the bookmark button here, so that you're notified of the next time that I do one of these chats. Next chat is probably going to be Sunday, is what I'm thinking, and I will be coming more prepared with just a list of all the things I want to share with you guys, instead of kind of just spitballing the things that like kind of come to mind as far as like chat, or as far as support and advice that I could share with you. I'll be more organized in the next one. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Actually, I'm going to do this.